Hello there. My name is Mr. Manson and I'm the Vice Principal at Cullybackey College. And in this short video, I just want to go through some of the details about the final options for Year 11 for September 2022 at Cullybackey College. As we move towards the start of next year, our Year 10s have been thinking an awful lot about what subjects that they want to do next year. Moving into Year 11 and starting GCSEs and the equivalent courses is a big step for our pupils. And it's really important that your child realises the amount of work that they're going to have to be doing from the 1st of September. They are going to have proper GCSE exams during Year 11 and some at the end of Year 11 next year. So the hard work starts now. Each student needs to be aiming for a minimum of 5 GCSE passes, and this means that it'll keep the doors open for NRC, for apprenticeships and for routes back to school. So they need to be trying to make sure that they get as many passes in as many subjects as they can get their hands on. At the start of the year and before the Christmas exams, I've already reminded pupils that their results in their exams this year would shape their choices for next year, and that continues until the end of the year. Their results in all subjects, but especially in English, maths and science, are extremely important this year. But now is the time to start thinking about the final choices. Each year, we aim to offer as many different courses to our students as possible within the constraints of our teaching timetable. This year, Cullybackey College is offering Year 11 students a total of over 32 different courses, of which 15 are classed as general academic and 12 are practical or vocational. But to be honest, it doesn't matter about how these are badged. The important thing is that there's a wide variety of courses available for your child. Our options are structured in such a way that we can try to support the students as much as possible to make the right choices so that they can aim for a particular career and achieve the maximum success. We want our students to make sure that they make the best choice, giving them the best opportunities and hopefully giving them the best advice that we can as well. We want to match your child with the right level, of course, so that these courses chosen will suit their particular needs. We do have a very wide ability range within our school and within this year group, and we are trying to meet your individual needs as much as we can with the resources that are available to us. This year, we've already sent home one report that helps to show you how your child is doing across the key stage 3 subjects. There's also been 2 opportunities for online video meetings with teachers, and these help us to guide students in the right direction. I always think it's important just to remind parents that in recent years GCSEs have changed. From 2017, there were big changes to GCSEs, and what this means is that it's more difficult to get grade C and above at GCSE. There's less coursework, less controlled assessment, and the foundation tiers have nearly disappeared that used to help our students, and these have been removed from many subjects. So as a result, we've had to look at providing a broader range of different courses, including things like Cambridge Technicals, OCN Level 2 courses, Prince's Trust BTECs, and Occupational Studies courses, where there is more emphasis on coursework and less on final exams. But all of these courses are still worth the same amount as the more traditional GCSEs. So as you probably already know, we've already gone through a long process of thinking about Year 11 options so far. Pupils took their first survey in January 2022, so that we could see if there were any subjects that pupils might want that we were not currently offering. Pupils then had 3 assemblies where they were given information about the different subjects that could be on offer. I also made available an information booklet which was given out to pupils and also made available through the school website. We carried out another second survey to see what subjects pupils were actually interested in. We wanted to encourage our pupils to speak to their parents about these decisions, so you were asked to be involved at this particular stage, and I sent messages home through the parent app about that. This has allowed us to work out what subjects the pupils in this year group want to study, so that we can offer option groups that will fit with the vast majority of our pupils. Parents often ask why we need to have option blocks here, and the reason's very simple. We need to be able to run 6 or 7 subjects at one time within our timetable. This maximizes choice for our students, though it does sometimes mean that a student might find that the 2 subjects that they're looking for might end up in the same option group. Unfortunately, there's very little that we can actually do about that. When I put together the option groups, I'm trying to find the best fit for the majority of the year group. So what happens next? So we're now at the time of the final choice of subjects. And today I'm going to be announcing the final options, and tomorrow your child will be given an option sheet to take home and to return back into school. Once the final choices have been made, I will send you a letter to let you know about your child's final subjects in late June. In the new year, pupils will have a bit of time to try out these subjects in what I call the transfer window in the first couple of weeks of year 11. If there is space for movement into another subject, I will try to facilitate that. However, once this transfer window is closed, there is no room for movement. So what are the different routes available to your child? All students will take one course in English, Maths, Science and RE. And the class that your child gets placed in will be based on past performance in these subjects, usually mostly based on year 10 performance. For example, in Science, if you're wanting to get into the double award Science class, you need to make sure that you've got good performances in Science through your tests and exams this year. And then you will be put into the double award Science class. The other 2 Science options are single award Science and the OCN level 2 in applied science. And again, it will be your different performances in exams and tests which will dictate which class you end up in. Our academic route will be open to around about 115 pupils out of the 130 in this year group. And they will also be able to choose 3 choices from our option blocks. So the academic route looks like this. Students in this route will either finish the GCSE English or the Essential Skills Communication in English, GCSE Maths or Essential Skills Application of Number, the GCSE Double Award Science or the Single Award Science or the OCN Level 2 in Applied Science. I should also note that any pupil who is doing the Single Award Science or the OCN Applied Science will also do another course called Prince's Trust, which is similar to Learning for Life and Work, and this is equivalent to 2 GCSEs and has got no exams. Students will also do GCSE RE or OCN Level 2 RE, and then there's time for careers and games, followed by the 3 different options for students. The vocational route is slightly different. I've already offered an opportunity for anybody interested in this to meet with me yesterday afternoon through Microsoft Teams. We have up to about 20 places for this particular route, and this is offered to students who are more likely to want to follow a practical route, who might be thinking of employment or apprenticeship opportunities after year 12. These are people who are not going to be coming back for A-level at Cullybackey College. The main focus is on our link with the NRC, but you do also get the opportunity to choose some of the subjects from 2 of the option groups. I always think it's important to note that because the GCSE subjects have got more difficult in recent years, this does mean that grades have fallen. So we want to make sure that our students leave with the best possible set of qualifications. And we want these pupils to focus on the vocational and hands-on qualifications more. So the vocational route looks like this: essential skills communication, essential skills application of number, the OCN level 2 in applied science, the Prince's Trust Award in leadership, OCN level 2 RE, careers and games. You also get to choose 2 subjects from the NRC, one in year 11 and one in year 12, plus 2 final options from within the option groups. One of the key things I think is worth pointing out here is that a student in 11A4 and a student in 11A5 will probably end up taking very similar subjects, apart from the option of going to the NRC. That's often the only difference. So which route is best for your child? Well, any pupil who wants to study one of these vocational options with the NRC needs to take the vocational route. The pupils are timetabled to go up to the NRC every Friday for 2 years. They will experience a range of different opportunities and can get 2 GCSE equivalent passes called occupational studies through their study here. The class is badged as 11A5, though it is worth reminding parents that actually form classes are completely rearranged next year and are based on science classes alone. The main areas of study that our students follow here are things like the motor mechanicin, fast fit, hair and beauty, catering, patisserie, sheet metal, plumbing and manufacturing. So for 2022, our option subjects for next year look like this. In Block 1, Child Development, Music, Business, GCSE ICT, History and Carpentry. In Option Block 2, Art, Geography, Carpentry, Spanish, Hospitality, Construction and Agriculture. In Block 3, Sports Studies, Technology, History, OCNIT, Motor Vehicle Studies, Drama and Art. It is worth noting that these option blocks have been put together based on the first and second straw polls that I have been collecting this year from our students. This is what we see as the best fit for what the students have been telling us that they're actually interested in. When choosing something from each block, can I ask that you please identify what is your first choice in the block by writing a 1, and what is your second choice in that block by writing a 2. This is just in case you cannot get your first choice and I then need to move on to your second choice subject. For those people who are going to the NRC next year, taking the vocational option, this is your option subjects. You can't choose anything from Block 1 because that's the time whenever you're going to be going to the NRC. You can choose one from Block 2 and one from Block 3. In Block 2, you can choose from Art, Hospitality, Carpentry, or Agriculture. In Block 3, you can choose from Sports Studies, the OCNIT, Motor Vehicle, Art, and Drama. So what happens next? Well, students will be given their final options choice sheet tomorrow in school. You then please return this to me by Friday the 18th of March. This should be returned to the college office. The office staff will take note of the date and the time that this sheet was handed in. So please don't hand them to me in the corridor. I cannot guarantee that pupils who return forms after this late will be placed in the subjects that they want. So please make sure that you get your forms in on time. Also, please note that in the event of subjects being oversubscribed for places, I will be taking the order that they were returned back to school into account. A final confirmation of your child's path and options choice will come in late June. And one last thing. Later on in the year, our pupils will be taking the YELLIS test in June. This gives us some valuable information about the grades that your child is expected to get through the 2 years of their GCSE studies. And it gives us some targets that they can be moving towards as they go through year 11 and year 12. And finally, a reminder of that date again. The forms should be returned to the school office by Friday, the 18th of March. Thank you very much, and hopefully this gives you as much information that you need in relation to the options that are going ahead for next year in year 11.